What a way to end Black History Month, other than with a triple P for the downfall of one, but the benefit of another. Now, one of my supporters actually sent me this story, and neither I nor them knew that this even occurred. I didn't even know the story had even existed. But I said, you know what? I can't let a good opportunity like this pass me by. So as y'all can see by the screenshot on your page, it says a historic DC Black church now owns the Proud Boys name. Metropolitan African Methodist Episcopal Church can seize any money the far-right group makes from selling merchandise. And I'm sitting here saying to myself, oh, this sounds intriguing. Let me find out more. And find out more, I indeed did. A DC judge awarded the Proud Boys trademarks to downtown's Metropolitan African Methodist Episcopal Church Monday. The ruling means that the far-right group can no longer use its name and, quote, clears the way for the church to try to seize any money that the Proud Boys might make by selling merchandise like hats or t-shirts emblazoned with their name or with any of their familiar logos, including a black and yellow laurel wreath, the New York Times reports. So basically, the only way that the church won't make any money is if the Proud Boys stop selling any merchandise. But the thing is, they're so deep that people are going to continue to buy it. And see, this is the perfect storm for this church, because remember, the Proud Boys, like their leader Enrique Tarrio, they were some of the main ones leading the charge when January 6th happened. And with Trump pardoning them, I'm sure a lot of people actually bought a lot of the merch. Unfortunately, I wish this ruling would have happened a long time ago, because they probably would have racked up a whole bunch by this time, but it is what it is. The church, where Frederick Douglass, Oprah Winfrey, and former President Obama have worshiped, sued the Proud Boys in January 2021 after they destroyed Black Lives Matter signs during the mayhem that ensued around a December 2020 rally for President Trump. Proud Boys leader Enrique Tarrio pleaded guilty to that act in July. The Proud Boys were ordered to pay the church more than $1 million in 2023, but the group failed to do so, leading to Monday's ruling. So imagine that if they would have only paid the church the little over $1 million that they were supposed to pay, which I'm almost certain they would have been able to pay, then they wouldn't be in this predicament right now where the church owns the name, which begs the question, the Proud Boys, did they even own that name? Because for them to just straight up like snatch that up and just like hand that right to them is insane. That just says to me, unless I could be wrong and someone can let me know in the comments, that they most likely didn't own the Proud Boys branding. They just plastered it. They just called themselves that. Trump pardoned Tarrio, who also pleaded guilty to bringing a high-capacity magazine into the district when he returned to office last month, and members of the group marched in D.C. on Inauguration Day. Tarrio called the ruling a, quote, betrayal of justice, according to the New York Times. So there you have it. Hey, I can't even knock it. That's, in my opinion, is how it should be done. However, and I have to kind of agree with the people in the chat under the post where I saw this on Twitter, they're probably, now that they know that this is that it's out there, they're going to go ahead and try to, I don't know what kind of thing they might try to do, but they said it would probably been best if they didn't even announce it. They should just move it in silence. But again, it is news. And the thing is, even if they did move in silence, it wouldn't matter, because you can't tell me that the Proud Boys aren't aware of this ruling. They have to at least be aware of it. It's not like they don't know. So what they're probably going to try to do is try to halt the selling of any merchandise so that church doesn't get any type of profit. But man, that's insane. That means anything that they sell with anything related to the Proud Boys, those profits goes directly to that church. Every last dime of it. They don't get nothing off of it, because basically you're just selling, you're just making money for that church. And they're going to have to convince people to stop buying it. Because see, the people who are over it, they don't have to buy anymore. It's just the people like the consumers who may want a Proud Boys church shirt or any type of merchandise that they have. They're going to go out there and they're going to go and purchase it, and they're going to have to try to stop them from doing it. But good luck, because again, their branding has been around for a while now. They're a pretty popular group, unfortunately, calling them popular, and people are going to continue to purchase it. So it is what it is. If they would have just paid up the little over $1 million they were supposed to pay, like I said before, that I'm sure they were able to cover, they wouldn't be in this position, and they would still have, I guess you could say, ownership, if you want to call it that, of their name. But the fact that it fell into the hands of a black organization, I'll put it like that, or a black institution, that's what makes it even more interesting, considering when you think about quote unquote black companies that are in the hands of PC, aka BET, only black in name, but it's owned by Viacom, which is owned by Paramount. So yeah, it is what it is. What a way to end the month off.
But wait, there's more.
So while this does involve the Proud Boys via Enrique Tarrio, and it has really nothing to do with the initial story, I said, let me just go ahead and add this piece in here because this happened after I recorded the first part of the video. So as you can see, Enrique Tarrio was arrested after getting into an altercation with a protester down there near the Capitol. Now, here's the interesting thing. This guy just got pardoned. He got sentenced initially to 22 years in prison for his role in January 6th, considering he is the leader of the Proud Boys. And basically, without reading too much into the article itself, he was talking to a photographer down there because there was a protest, and he was talking to a photographer, and apparently one of the protesters got in his face, and he ended up swatting them. Like, he basically hit the person, and of course the cops was down there and they saw it, and then they quickly arrested him. Like, he has to know that he is under a heavy microscope everywhere he goes. And why in the world would you go back down there? But then I had to think that I remember him saying something along the lines of he was going to get his retribution or something like that, or somehow get his revenge for, you know, how he was quote unquote treated after what happened with January 6th. And I'm saying this to myself, this dude is not wrapped too tight, because why would you say something like that? Because people are going to remember that. And every time you go down there, they're always going to keep a heavy eye on you, because you might actually try to pop something off based on what you're saying. They're going to take you seriously. And he went back to the scene of the crime. He got rearrested for basically assault. I don't know what else is going to come from that, but his arrest actually happened about, I think, like last week. I think it happened on the 21st, or at least that's when the story was reported, but it was definitely last week when it happened. Like I said, this guy's a whole clown. He's under a microscope, like I said. Everywhere he goes, he's going to have a presence there, but it's not the presence that he deserves at all. But it's also the same presence that he doesn't want either. But hey, it is what it is.